Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Man Rants into the Screen, because he can't seem to think of anything else to do. Today I want to talk about this game. It's not very well liked anyway. We come over here, we get our points. You see it's got something to do with the Stone Age and the Medieval Age, and this is my spot. So these little statues have information. Robloxians first came to Roblox. They are the first species to gain diversity's knowledge and pass it down from generation to generation, allowing them to adapt to their environment and learn how to use tools. Right off the start, I want to make note of, this is probably not made by, I hope, an adult. I hope this was made by a kid, and that explains some of the spelling mistakes and how basic the game is. But when you make one of these sort of schematics, you try to put the complexities of what is mimicking human history here. It just becomes infinitely complex. It has so many points of interest to discuss, let alone why bronze tools are here in the medieval era. Like, the whole point of naming things after what kinds of tools they used, like the Stone Age or the Bronze Age, and if you don't know it, the Chalcedonic Age, for the copper tools. Iron tools are here at the end of the medieval age, and the Roman Empire was an Iron Age empire. But the start of the medieval age doesn't technically usually start. It's not usually counted in European history as having started until, the end of the Western Roman Empire, creating a complexity here, a not so good boo-boo, in my opinion. That, no, I can't buy that. It just, the way things are set up and the order sometimes, it does not quite make sense. So yes, this is maybe made by a child, and keeping that in mind, don't want to be overly critical of how basic the game is and the fact that it is just another number cruncher. The name of this game also gives away a sort of simplistic perspective that is parasitic in society. It is the idea that so the name of the game is Evolution of something, but it really gives away this idea that progress is a straight line. You start at point A and you work to point Z by stopping at point B and C and D and E, and so on and on and on until you get to the point where you're at. And where you're at, you're eventually just going to keep going on and going on, and things are just going to keep getting better and getting better and getting better, and they don't see a cliff. There's no cliff in this perspective. There's no moments in which the gains of yesteryear are wrenched back by regressive thinking. They're have certainly been times when things have gotten worse for people. It's not a pretty thing to hear. Nobody likes to hear it, but real history did not go in a line from over here to over here, and we're over here. Line did one of these. History did one of these. Alright, we're making progress. Things are getting nominally better for some groups. Sometimes, people were mad about that. The people in power. Go figure. What do? Steel tools. In the age of discovery, when did steel come around? Age of discovery is like 1400s, 1500s. What are you talking about? Oven cooking, early steam machines. This is the thing. You try to write or, represent the complexities of human history, and you come into these parts like horse riding and leather clothes in the medieval, but surely when they were doing their basic hunting, they did more than just hide clothes, right? There are other kinds of animals around. What am I missing something here? I've got to be missing something here. Books came before the medieval era. In fact, there was a surprising lack of books in the medieval era for a long time, because certain people didn't want you to rifle around in all the knowledge that they had and didn't want to share. Pope. Anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to rant about. This game has a bad representation of history, and it also really leans into that sort of parasitic idea that history means progress. History will always mean progress. History will always mean things getting better, and that's just not true. Once you start reading history and learning more and more about history, things do have gotten better, but we still have the same problems that they had in the Roman Empire, that they had in Hammurabi's empire, that they had in the Chinese empire, and the Mesoamerican empires. Humans are humans. We're not all that different, you and I. We do have differences. We have preferences. But human behavior is not necessarily universal, but it's on a spectrum. It's on a few spectrums, and a lot of behavior is recurrent, meaning it happens over and over and over, and that's why everybody wants to be Alexander the Great or Augustus, even though Octavian was a really sick person. Also kind of frail health, but also in the liked to torture people. You don't want to be like Augustus. Don't be an Augustus. Coward, political hack, torturer. Not a great guy. Anyway, that's all from me today. Bye-bye.